Hello everyone and welcome back to Comparison World Facts. Today we'll compare the United States of America to China. But first, let's see who the real superpower is. Do you think it'll be the USA or will it be China? Both countries are widely viewed as superpowers. However, we're looking at who the most powerful of the two will be. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Firstly, let's explore the size of both countries. China and the USA are very close in size. China is just over 9.5 million square kilometers, whereas the USA is slightly larger with its 9.8 million square kilometers. Although they are in fact close in size, they are nowhere near one another in terms of population, with China having the world's largest population of over 1.4 billion people, more than all of North America and South America combined. So it's undoubtedly beating the USA's puny 332 million people. So that's indeed a massive advantage for China. Keep watching along closely to see who has the more powerful military. Next, look at which of the two countries has the more robust economy. Both countries have potent economies, taking up the top two spots. However, the USA certainly has China beat, for now at least. The United States has the world's largest economy with a GDP of over 20 trillion. This is much larger than China's GDP of 14.7 trillion. Another area that the USA is far superior to China is the GDP per capita of $63,000, which is far superior to China's, which is just $10,400 per capita. One way China is superior to the USA in terms of economy is their unemployment rate. China has a 4.8% unemployment rate, whereas the USA's is higher, currently at roughly 5.5%. Another way that China's economy is beating the USA's is inflation. The USA is experiencing higher than average inflation, estimated at 4.7% per annum, whereas China's inflation is much lower, at roughly 1% per year. These two economies are powerful and both have pros and cons. So which country has a stronger military? China currently has the world's most significant active military force, with roughly 2 million active soldiers. The Chinese military also has an impressive 500,000 plus reserve force. The Chinese army is the largest, with India in second place with only 1.5 million active personnel. The United States also has a formidable military with far fewer soldiers than China. The United States has roughly 1.4 million active personnel and is ranked third globally. However, they have a much larger 800,000 reserve force. But there's a lot more to the military than just the number of soldiers. As of a 2020 list by Forbes, the United States has more tanks than China, having over 6,300 compared to China's 5,800. Another edge that America has is in the skies. The USA has just over 5,200 active military aircraft, making it the most significant air force in the world. China is far outnumbered in the skies, having roughly 3,300 operational military planes. What about the Navy? The USA has China beat there as well. The USA has 11 aircraft carriers, China has only 3. However, they have announced plans to increase that number to 5. Moreover, China's Navy beats the USA's mighty Navy in the number of submarines, having 79, 11 more than the United States' 68 submarines. A further way that the US military is superior to China's is in the nuclear field. China has been estimated to have roughly 350 nuclear warheads, which is nothing compared to the estimated 5,600 warheads the USA possesses. So there you have it, both militaries have several pros and cons. Who would win in a battle? Let's hope we never find out for sure. Keep watching to see who the true superpower is. The answer will shock you. Comment your thoughts on which country it will be down below. Next up, which of the two would be better to be born in? Well, for starters, if you were born in China, you'd be over twice as likely to die before the age of 1, and you'd also be around 50% more likely to die in childbirth. However, you would be over 80% less likely to be obese, but the life expectancy in China is roughly 4 years less than the USA. Another issue with China is that you'd be almost 40% less likely to have access to the internet. Approximately 45% of the Chinese population do not have access to the internet. Another disadvantage to being born in China is that you make far less money than you would in the USA. On average, a worker in China makes 14,000 United States dollars per year, whereas a worker in the USA, on average, will earn 56,000 USD per year. So based on what we've told you, which would you instead be born in? Comment your thoughts down below. So what about the governments of the two nations? China's People's Republic has a communist government with only one party. Elections only occur at the local level, not at the national level. Free speech is heavily restricted in China. China has been a communist nation since the middle of the 20th century. The Communist Revolution finished in 1949 and has been in power since. The United States of America's government is a federal republic, which is a democracy with much more legitimate elections. The USA also has much better free speech. However, it is limited in some ways. People in the USA are also free to protest peacefully, which would be frowned upon in China. History of non-natives in the USA shows that democracy has been used in the USA since the 1630s in the form of town meetings. So, China's government certainly has much more power than the USA's, not that that's necessarily a good thing. That's because it makes things much worse to live there. So, which of the two is the true superpower? According to ABC, since the USSR fell in 1991, the USA has been considered the only superpower, while China is still generally referred to as an emerging superpower. However, we're sure to see China eventually become a real superpower within the next few years, and maybe even pass the USA in terms of power. Another way that the USA trumps China is in terms of influence, which is explained well in the following quote, where Dr. Adams said, "The USA created organizations ranging from the United Nations to NATO. That was at the center of diplomatic activity in the world." Another big reason the USA is the true superpower is their military spending. In 2020, the USA spent $734.4 billion. Comparing that to China's more minor $257 billion military spending is a great reason why they may not be able to contend with the USA. Another reason why the USA is the true superpower is because of NATO. If China were to attack the USA, all 30 North Atlantic Treaty Organization countries would be required to come to their aid. Some of these countries include the United Kingdom, Canada, France, Italy, and many more. In addition, China is a member of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, RCEP, which is just a free trade agreement between many of the neighboring countries of China, which means they may have some allies to come to their aid. So, even though China may have more soldiers and a much bigger population, it doesn't necessarily make them the more powerful nation, as we would have to say that the USA is the true superpower. However, a decade or two from now, we might not be saying that. And now we've got just enough time for fun facts about the two countries. The United States is home to the gambling capital of the world. Las Vegas is home to a large strip of casinos, great shopping options, delicious fine dining, and an incredibly active nightlife. As a result, Vegas is one of the most visited tourist destinations in the world. Many countries have different time zones depending on which part of the country you're in. However, all of China is in the same time zone, but not because it doesn't technically span over multiple time zones. It actually spans over 5. But since 1949, it's followed only one time zone of UTC plus 8. Another incredibly fun fact about China is that there's a chopstick museum located in Shanghai. It has an impressive 2,000 pairs of chopsticks, with some even dating as far back as the Tang Dynasty. Of course, the Tang Dynasty was from 618 to 907, so these chopsticks are over 1,000 years old. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to know to decide yourself who the real superpower is. Comment your thoughts below, especially if you think China is the true superpower. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Do you think China will soon pass the USA in terms of superpower status?